And we may shoot it 5 times. I don't care.
No, we'll just do it once.
No, you do what you got to do to get it right.
It'll be right.
Okay.
So, Lee, we've been talking about observation. I'm just kind of curious because I've noticed that you have a real awareness of how things are and how you perceive things. And just tell me how you go about the process of observing things and the importance of what that is.
Okay. Well, what I think what you have to look at is what changed me from where I was to where I am. That's important because you got to remember one time I wasn't a big observationist like most people aren't. So what converted me to that guy? Well, before I was just like everybody else, where I heard things, listened to things, took people's word for it. Where you say in sports, all motions thrown are based on this look or feel or figure eight. Well, I heard what they were saying, but I never saw what they were saying. So what I realized is I need to either start paying attention more, dig in deeper, whatever. So that got me on the path of observation. And once I got on the path of observation, I started to walk or look at specific points. All right.
So your dad was an engineer.
Dad was an engineer. Okay.
So you were kind of,
yeah. What happened?
That was who he was.
Well, yeah. Okay. And that's a good point. We talked about this yesterday. My father, when I would ask him a question, there was never an answer was given. But for instance, when I asked him where's power come from, okay, he didn't say leverage. He didn't say nothing. He said, you see that crane over there? I said, yes, sir. He said, where's the power? Where's that crane get its power to lift that load? You got a 400-ton cherry picker. How does it lift 400 tons? Answer me that. So I said the boom. I said the cable, the winch, the motor, everything you could say. 2 weeks. All I got was no's. No. Well, that's blowing my mind. Well, the cable lifts it. No, it don't. The winch, no. Well, I was looking for mechanical motion things that were obvious and made sense. This is where I grew up from till the time I was 12 and a half years old, right here. This was an open field. But so anyway, several weeks go by, and I named everything I thought I could name. Finally, he said, you did a good job thinking about it. He said, but that crane is only going to lift as much as the outriggers can push on the earth, number one. Number two, if the earth underneath it's not stable and collapses or it ain't flat, then it's limited in how much it can push or lift safely. So you have two vectors there in that you got to be pushing, but to lift as much as you can lift, you have to have stability. You either have to have a smooth, flat surface, or you have to have a solid surface underneath. It can't lift 1,000,000 tons or 400 tons on sand or clay. That's why over here they'll go drive pilings and then put board roads or sometimes foundations, because it needs to transfer pressure, PSI. Okay.
So what do you think about the golfer who doesn't observe?
Well,
are they ever going to be successful?
Well, no, they're not, because as a human, not as a golfer, as a person that wants to lift weights, mow grass, digging, whatever they want to do, if they don't observe, if you do it and you hurt and you're out of breath, you need to observe the guy next door that's doing it all day and never loses his breath. What is he doing differently? All things being equal, same size, not all things being equal. There's fat guys that outwork skinny guys all day. And then we moved to this house right here. We lived when my dad passed. But what makes one guy outwork another guy? Is it physical strength? Is it size? Is it not size? Is it lack of fat? more fat. Who knows? Okay. What the answer is I named everything for 3 weeks to Dad, and he finally, that I had observed in my life. I looked at cranes and I just observed it. I observed things, but I never paid attention. Okay, I never paid attention that 100% of the time, the first thing they did is put the outriggers out. The most important thing about setting a crane is where you're going to put the outriggers and what angle. That's the biggest part of it.
So if someone tells you exactly what to do, and you haven't observed and done the work on your own, mm-hmm. and verified and tested, mm-hmm. and learned it yourself, yeah. You're still not going to be successful.
Correct. It's, for instance, when you in our industry, when you go to lift something heavy, you got to submit a lift plan. And there's engineers that do soil testing, it's not because they know the crane can lift the 400 tons. They know that it's going to swing it from here to there and it's going to set it. That's what it does. Okay. What they got to make sure of is it's got ground to push on to where it can get the job done. And secondly, they got to make sure it's safe. And the crane goes to lifting and all of a sudden the boom craters or it folds over, the structural body hurts itself and therefore either kills the operator, kills thousands, whatever, kills people. So they don't sacrifice the crane's safety
for nothing.
For nothing. Stop. We're not going to do that. We'll do something different. Okay. You follow?